Hello and welcome to Michael's vlog. It's 3 a.m. of April 14th and you're watching the 40-day fast series. So we started this series to document or trying to document every day since the start of the Lenten season. We started 6 days late, but we've only missed only 2 days since. So we're going very strong. And what exactly does the Lenten season mean? I'm not gonna eat any pork, beef, or chicken for the entirety of this season, which is gonna end in a couple of days. So we're gonna see what kind of effect that it had, and we're going to reflect on how exactly I feel, or do I feel any better? Are there any changes that we can observe? So something that we've been doing in the past few days is that we try to reflect on the good and bad of the day. Let's start with the bad. The bad thing for today is that I'm reminded that for some context, I used to be a very consistent yes man. So uh, used to be that kind of person that people would easily step over. So in the attempt to not step on anyone's toes, any person's favor or query or whatever, I would answer with a yes. This is something that I've understood in myself, and it's something that I've can confidently say that I've worked it out, except for one one last aspect where I'm still a yes man in a certain sense. I'm still very susceptible to people that I like or I have liked before. Um, Plenty of times, this um, I still observe myself to be a yes man in these situations. I put a special marker on how much being a yes man in this sense has cost me, and today it cost me 700 pesos. So that's kind of bad. um, what was it ultimately for? Not, it's just, remember, as I've mentioned before, if you're following us consistently, I am very averse to spending money in any way, even for personal improvement, because money is very scarce. It's seldom and far in between. It's just like a good hair day, for example. And especially when you're not working yet, it's not something that's even consistent. Again, it's seldom to come by. Um, we do work to get some money here and there, but we only get what we're blessed with, I would guess. So um, it just furthers, it adds to my uh, averseness to spending. So yeah, I spent kind of a lot today. What else? To put in context, how much would I spend on a regular day? I haven't computed the gas prices or how much I use for the gas on a daily basis, but I gas every week, so, or every other day. So it's not a everyday expense, but we can compute that down later. But usually on an average in a day, I would spend an average of about just 20 pesos to 50 pesos. Um, that would be inclusive of lunch and some snacks in between. If it's just lunch, it's just 20 pesos. To put in retrospect, if you're an international viewer, that's just $1. I just spend $1 or less in a day. That's 50 pesos, 50 pesos, $1, something like that. Uh, so that's way over my spending limit for one day. Um, but did it achieve something good? I would hope so, and I think it did so. Um, there are lots of ways we can justify actions that we do, but I guess maybe the point is Be responsible in how you spend your money. Don't put yourself in the red, and uh, don't do it just because someone asked you to do it. Uh, Especially if you're biased to say yes to that person. That's something we're definitely working on, but we're this is a journey to discover a lot about ourselves. So we'll look into that a bit further. So this is actually the last part of today. Like I mentioned, it's already 3 a.m. So instead of exercising and reading the book like I did yesterday after the vlog, I actually decided to do it before. So here we are. The book I've been reading is this book. It's called The Zigzag Principle by Rich Christensen, and it's I wouldn't say extremely interesting book, but there's a few concepts that are all right. They're all right. It's nice, and I have been reading this book intermittently with another book I've been reading, Leading the High Energy Culture. They're both leadership books and business books. So very interesting. But I'm just like to bring it up today that I kind of started this at the start of the series, and since we've been reading 10 pages or so a day, on other days more, and some days we did miss reading, we're only about a day or two, or probably tomorrow, this book will be finished, and that's really nice to do. So in just 30 days or less, you can finish a book. Maybe 10 pages is actually very short, um, uh, especially considering what do you call it, how much, how big the texts are, or how little is actually in 10 pages. I would actually make it 20 pages, but I just started the habit of 10 pages so that we really ingrain the habit of reading, so that we can read for longer periods of time when we try to push it further in the future. So it's very nice to see that there's a lot of progress that we did do over time. It's not oftentimes that you can see that, but there we are. We're almost done with the book. It feels very nice to really remember when you started and that you're approaching an end. Um, so yeah, it's a very enjoyable feeling. Um, I guess there's also hopes that we can see the same kind of result through the exercise that we do, but I think it takes a lot more time or more analysis on our um, exercise to actually get to that and to see those kinds of results that you want to see. Not to mention, we haven't actually even double checked yet if we're in the right form, but I do believe I have right form. Then it's probably just the workload isn't really enough. Maybe 10 push-ups, 10 squats, and a minute plank isn't um, isn't really is enough, I would say. As I was saying, this is to build more consistency. We make up for the intensity over time, so it's just more of a maintenance exercise compared to really a workout session. So we'll get into that in later. What's the good thing? So that's a good thing that we had. I appreciate that. What's another good thing? A friend of mine who was a graduate, a magna cum laude in psychology, recommended for me that we be a bit more spontaneous in life. Um, I'm not actually gonna reveal it right now because I haven't made a digital copy, or I'm not sure if it's safe to reveal it because there are some aspects which are political in nature. But I've created outline for Life Plan 2024. So this is the plan that I have for my own life for the next 5 years, because something that my dad always says is that if you don't have a plan, life will just bring you anywhere. Um, so if you don't really have a goal, and this is actually really reflected in a lot of business or self-development literature, a lot of almost everything has to start with a goal. In Stephen Covey's The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, he puts it very beautifully when he says, "Start with the end in mind." Uh, start with the end in mind. In Brian Tracy's The Miracle of Self-Discipline, he also goes over uh, having a small spring notebook where you write the 10 goals that you want to achieve in the next 6 months. And you'll find out apparently that you'll do the first five in maybe just the first month or something like that. In every business literature that you're going to read, probably, I haven't read everything, but almost a common denominator between all of them is the importance of setting goals. So I wrote down Life Plan 2024 as a way to kind of plan out my life for the following years and to also anticipate the responsibilities that I will be getting into in the years to come. But in so doing, my friend has noticed that there's an overabundance of structure which I try to integrate into my life, meaning that there's a lack of spontaneity and their life is lived in spontaneity, I guess. So I guess the good thing about today is that we were a bit more spontaneous than we expected ourselves to be. So there, it is spontaneous because we didn't expect it at all. Um, Instead of having our regular scheduled meeting, we actually invested the time that we had for the one of the meetings in my organization today. We diverted our efforts to actually understanding each member more. So this is actually something that's also very important in every organization. It's not only about objectives that you want to get to, but it's also about understanding each member more so that you can help each other and work together better. So, and after that activity, that's when we also went to a certain store and we actually, I bought lunch for everybody. And that's why I don't really consider it as a bad investment. It's definitely something that was good and benefited the organization. But again, I'm just averse in spending, but I think it did achieve a good means. So we were a bit spontaneous with that. Half of the members left, and then so then with the few members that were remaining, we just decided to walk around the school since my next meeting wasn't for another 3 hours. So from that mall, we were strolling around, a bit of window shopping here and there, and then we decided to move to another mall, and then talk for a little bit. Then we concluded that, and then so we went to another mall just to buy some ice cream because you can't buy this ice cream in the mall that we were already at. So we went to another mall to buy ice cream. And that sounds really quizzical to me. Like, why would you go to another mall to buy ice cream? It sounds like something like, it sounds so privileged. I would say maybe it is. Okay, yeah, it is. Because we also drove to that other mall. And I don't know. Honestly, it's not really something that I think that I will regret. Um, the commute was fine. Uh, Driving builds intimacy, I guess. It also provides a lot of safety for myself and my members. So that's something that's really nice. But as well, uh, there's also that it's also that kind of spontaneity that I have apparently been lacking. So, if my friend, if you're listening to this vlog, if you've reached this far, because we're already at 15 minutes, 14 minutes, I guess. There, spontaneous for today, yeah. Woo. Whatever. Um, we covered a lot today, actually. We just, the reason why we're filming at 3 a.m. is because I actually got home at 12:15, and I don't want the daily things to be left behind. I look up there because I have a checklist that I put on my wall. And I don't want any day to go without being checked. So we've trimmed down the 6 things to do every day to 3, and at least when it's those 3, they're manageable, they're easy to do, and we can split them through the day if the day isn't as busy, and they're not too difficult to do even if you do come home tired. It's always important to have a nice checklist. Some people would use the calendar. I'm not sure, but it also creates a motivating factor so that you can actually see where you've come from and how much progress you're making. So that's it for tonight. I hope everyone's enjoying their Lent. I'm not sure if a lot of people that will watch this in the future are even people that practice Lent. If that's the case, then I apologize. Just skip the episodes which are focusing more on religious teaching, and just listen to the other videos because not everything is about religion on this channel. Um, I don't expect a lot of people to listen to this as it is, but I expect maybe people will see this far into the future. So, hi from the past. And that's all the time that we have for this evening. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I hope you enjoyed the video. Um, I'm not gonna say leave a like and subscribe or whatever, but God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.